A lot of people look at Punta Cana like it's just a vacation destination. Resorts, beaches, all-inclusive hotels, but honestly, I think people are underestimating what's happening right now in Punta Cana. Because Punta Cana isn't just growing, that place is transforming. And the reason investors are paying attention to this area is not just to buy property, but they're buying into where they believe the market is headed. And when you start seeing non-stop development, infrastructure expansion, international buyers flooding in, tourism numbers steadily increasing, you realize very quickly this is no longer a hidden market. When I first started spending time in Punta Cana, there's one thing that hit me very quickly, and that is this place is developing at a rapid pace. And I don't think people outside of the Dominican Republic fully understand the speed of what's happening right now. I know right now I'm in Santo Domingo, right here on the Malecon, and I'm not currently in Punta Cana, but even here, I understand exactly what's happening in Punta Cana because I can see the same thing happening right here in this market. Every time I go back to Punta Cana, there are new roads, new projects, new restaurants, new communities, new developments, new investors. And when these markets start to expand aggressively, guess who starts to pay attention? Investors. Because experienced investors know something that regular people don't. And that is, by the time everybody agrees that this area is valuable, most of the opportunities, guess what? They're gone. Punta Cana's tourism machine is one of the main reasons investors are aggressively moving toward this market. Millions and millions of tourists come to Punta Cana each and every year. In 2025, they hit a record number of over 11 million people. And you ask yourself, why does this matter? Because tourism increases demand. Demand for what? Demand for Airbnbs, rentals, restaurants, transportation, experiences, housing, businesses. And unlike some vacation destinations that feel seasonal, Punta Cana is active all year around. And that's why so many investors are chasing short-term rentals there, because they're looking at occupancy rates and saying to themselves, this place still has room to grow. I honestly think that Airbnb, it changed the psychology of internationally investing in places like Punta Cana. Because years ago, people would say to themselves, why would I buy a property there? And now people see it vastly different. They're thinking, I can own a property there. I can use it part-time and rent it while I'm gone and potentially build appreciation through the long term. And when you start thinking that way, it changes everything. Punta Cana became one of those markets that everybody was closely paying attention to because the tourism traffic, it was already there. It already existed. Now let's be honest, not all Airbnbs print money like social media may have you thinking, because some people buy emotionally rather than strategically. Location matters, management matters, the particular project itself, that matters. And here's another reason why investors are entering the Punta Cana market. It's because of pre-construction, because people are trying to get in these projects early, because of the low entry prices, the payment plans, and the appreciation potential before the project is actually delivered. What investor doesn't like the idea of locking something in before the price climbs? And honestly, I've seen prices drastically increase in certain areas over the last few years. And one area off the top of my head is Vista Cana. 8 to 10 years ago, you could have got a property in Vista Cana for around $30,000 to $40,000. Now to get in Vista Cana, you're over $100,000. And that's just for a 1-bedroom or a studio. And that's why so many people are asking, are we still early here? And I personally think in some parts of Punta Cana, yes, that may be the case, especially compared to where this market can be in 5 to 10 years if development continues at this pace. And a lot of you guys want to know what makes Punta Cana so different, not just about the development, but what makes it different. And I'll tell you, it's about the lifestyle psychology. People are tired. People are burnt out. The cold weather, the stress, fast-paced living, expensive cities. And then they come to places like Punta Cana and they say to themselves, I could actually own a property here, a property like this in a warm weather climate year-round, a beach lifestyle, and at a slower pace in a modern community around an international atmosphere. Why not? Let's do it. That emotional connection is powerful, and investors understand this. Lifestyle-driven markets tend to grow aggressively because people are not just buying a property, they're buying aspiration. And as an investor, here's some things you need to always watch when you're investing. Roads, airports, expansions, commercial growth, because those signs of infrastructure improvement tells you where the government and developers think that growth is headed. And Punta Cana, yes, it keeps expanding. More projects, more tourism investment, more international attention. And I'm gonna tell you right now, every time I go to Punta Cana, I think to myself, there is no way this is slowing down anytime soon. But here's the number one mistake people make. They wanna wait till everybody else agrees that a particular area is valuable. And here in Dominican Republic, that's not the way to go, because by then the prices, guess what? They're going to be significantly higher. The biggest wins in investment is when people move before the mass attention arrives, not after. And I think that's exactly why investors are quietly positioning themselves in places like Punta Cana. So let me say this as well. No investment is guaranteed. All markets have risks, but one thing is very clear. Punta Cana is not the same market it was 5 years ago. The growth is real. The demand is real. The development I see is real. And whether people realize it or not, guess what? The Dominican Republic is slowly becoming one of the most talked about lifestyles and investment markets in the Caribbean. And honestly, I think we're still watching the beginning stages of where this place is headed. So comment below and let me know if you would be interested in investing in Punta Cana. And if you're serious about learning more about investing here in Dominican Republic, connect with Milton and I'll leave the links in the video description below. We'll guide you through the process and show you what opportunities make sense for you. And also, guys, I have a weekly newsletter, links in the video description below. And also, if you're interested in moving to Santo Domingo, pick up the Santo Domingo Life Bundle. Listen, guys, this collection of ebooks takes the guesswork out of everything. Link for that in the video description below as well. And until then, guys, remember, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're going to live your best life. And we out. Peace.